welcome to another episode of the Total R&B Podcast. My name is Lorena, and we have somebody who is back on the podcast that I'm so excited to speak to. She just came out last month with her second project, which is The Confessions of an Antisocial Butterfly. And it's such a dope project. I always love when she comes on my timeline. She has like the sweetest voice and she's so talented. So welcome back, Bukola. How
Thank you
are
so much for
you?
having me. I'm
Of
doing
course.
well. And you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for saying yes to coming back on the podcast. So I'm
Of
really
course.
grateful. You never know. You never know. So
No,
I'm just
I'm
really,
honored.
really happy. Oh, thank you. So, yes, I want to straight get into this project that you just released last month because you've been feeding us singles since last year. And now the project is out, and it's such a wonderful project. I love how you put it together.
Thank
Um,
you.
so basically, first tell us what this album basically means.
Yeah. So it's called The Confessions of an Antisocial Butterfly, and it's a project that talks about my coming of age insecurities. And I wanted to really delve into world building with this project and to foster a sense of community. And so I decided to turn it into a radio show. So the premise of the project is that it's this program, and the program's name is The Confessions of an Antisocial Butterfly. And it appears on a radio station called 101.6 Hogan's Alley FM, which is a nod to Vancouver's historically Black neighborhood. And then it's hosted by DJ 604, who's voiced by Angeline, who is the host of CBC's The Block. And I was so honored to have her be a part of the project. And then, yeah, it features my friends calling in and talking about their coming of age insecurities. And then the DJ puts on a song that resonates with the topic that they've shared. And some of those calls are spoken word pieces that were written by Desiree Mackenzie, sorry, who's an incredible poet based in Toronto. And so I'm also really honored that I got to work with her on the project. But yeah, I got to be super creative with it, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out.
No, it is. It's awesome, and like we have to break down everything that you just mentioned because it's a lot. So first, turning it into like a radio show, I loved it because I love radio. I've worked in radio. I do my podcast. It's something that I love, and it took me back to being a kid. And I would
Mhm.
have my stereo and I would listen to these shows because if you guys don't know, in Montreal, we don't have a black station. We don't have a station that plays R&B and hip hop 24/7. We don't have that. You got to catch certain shows. So for us, when I was in high school, it would be like after school, like let's say starting at 5 o'clock, there is a station that is from the reserves, and they would play R&B and hip hop from like maybe like 5 to like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock during that space. So we had to rush home and also to the station because it wasn't in the city. Like if you were in a certain location, you had to like move the antenna, you had to move your
Oh
feet
my god.
to actually get the station sometimes. But it just brought me back
Wow.
because they used to have like a request line, so you could call in, you could dedicate a song, you could, say what you're going through. So it just brought me back to that time or like the Quiet Storm era where they would play like the slow music like after 11 o'clock. So it just brought back that feeling listening to that album, which was so cool to me. So I love that you did that. Was there a reason why you wanted to have it as a radio show?
Yeah, there's a couple reasons. I think the first was that because I knew that I wanted to talk about my insecurities. I didn't want people to go listen to the project, listen to me essentially just rant about things that I'm not feeling great about, and then walk away feeling down after listening to it. And so I figured if it was a radio show, it would foster a sense of community, and instead of people feeling like, "Oh my gosh, this is really heavy," having it feel like, "Oh my gosh, okay, like other people are going through this too. I'm not alone in feeling like this." And so, yeah, I just wanted to lift people's spirits a little bit after hearing the project, but also to it's my goal to build a community around my art, and I think radio is such a beautiful platform for doing so. And it's really fun, I guess, like, putting together skits and hearing a project that has music, but also, other things going on. And I remember falling in love with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill and hearing all of the skits that were happening in between, or even, like, Beyoncé's Lemonade with the visual album and all the poetry that was happening. So, yeah, I just think it's really fun putting it together and listening to a project that also has auxiliary bits, but then also too just building community and having people feel a little bit uplifted after hearing it rather than feeling sad or down.
No, of course. It was done so well. So you should be really proud of the work that you did and taking that
Thank you.
initiative to put that together like that, especially to have like the poetry pieces in between as well. It was really done really, really well. And then to have Angeline from CBC's The Block on there because that's a voice in Canada that we know and we love. So how did that connection come to be? Because she's amazing,
She's so cool, and her voice, like, I've spoken about this so much, I love her voice. It's so dope,
right?
it's so cool, and it also just sounds so warming as well, like, it's like a warm hug. So I'm
Yep.
really honored that she was down, but, she was a huge supporter of my first project and, played a few of the songs on The Block. So we kind of knew each other, from just her support of the project, and then I performed at the Honey Jam in Toronto a few years ago, and she was hosting it, so I got to meet her in person. And so then we just kind of stayed connected through social media. But then when I decided that I wanted to make the EP have a radio format, I she was the first person that I thought of. And when she was like, "Oh yeah, like I would do it," I was so excited because she is a legend. So yeah, shout out to
Exactly.
Angeline.
No, exactly, and that's the thing too because I was listening to the album and I was like, "That voice is so familiar, but is it her?"
Yeah.
I didn't know, and then I was looking in the credits and I didn't see, so I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it's her, but I'm not 100% sure." But just to see that it is actually her, I thought that was so cool that you guys were able to connect on this project, so that is so dope. And then also too, sidebar, I also saw that you met Nardwuar, which is
Yes.
another person that I, like, look up to in the whole, like, radio world. So how did you meet Nardwuar?
Yeah. Also, super cool person as well, and I'm very honored that he was down to support the project. But, Music BC did an event, last year where he spoke, and so, I made him a card, and I was like, "You're so incredible, like, thank you so much for being here," and he was super, super nice. And so then, yeah, I was coming up with ideas for the rollout of the project, and I was like, "Nardwuar is such an important piece of Vancouver's radio history and someone who's also really tapped into the culture." And so me and my content strategist were just kind of like going back and forth. We're like, okay, we'll just ask him. Like the worst he can say isn't no. But he was so sweet and he did it and he did it so well. And he was doing a bunch of interviews like at the time he was in LA and he found the time to still do it. So yeah, my heart was so filled when I got his video back. So yeah, incredible person all around, but also super honored to have him be a part of it because he's huge in radio.
Yeah, no, he's such a big deal, and the fact that he's loved, like, all over the world, like, people know Nardwuar and they look forward to his interviews, so that is super cool, and it's, like, another, like, reason just to love him because he's
Yeah.
just so kind,
So
so
kind. Yeah.
I love that. And so, also you mentioned the name of the fictional radio station that you created for this project, and you said it's like a dedication because you put Hogan the Alley. So, if you
Yeah.
could explain a little bit about the history, because a lot of people, from what I'm starting to understand, they don't really know a lot of Canadian Black history.
Yeah.
But I thought because I was knowledgeable about the area, I thought it was so cool that that's what you chose to name the station. So if you could give just a little bit of background on it.
Yeah, so it's essentially and I think it's known as Vancouver's first. just a historically Black neighborhood, and it means so much to the Black community that settled in Vancouver. There's a lot of really cool people that also have ties to it as well. So Jimi Hendrix's grandma actually resided there and had like a store. And so Jimi Hendrix is also one of my favorite guitarists of all time. So when I found that out, I was like, Vancouver, wow,
Yeah.
this is incredible. But yeah, I wanted people to listen to the name and search it up and be like, what's going on there? Like, what's that about? And it was really important for me to rep Vancouver. I think when I was in between making the first and the second project, I found myself getting swept up into the Toronto mindset of just like Toronto R&B and like that's where you have to be and I wish I was from there and all that stuff. And so it was a super conscious decision to be like, okay, I need to represent Vancouver with such pride because
Of
it's a great
course.
city and there's a lot of great things going on. And so that was one way that I could do it, just a nod to Hogan's Alley, which means a lot for the Black community here.
Yeah, no, I like lit up when I saw that. I was like, "Oh, that is so cool," because again, not a lot of people know about Canadian Black history. So you mentioning that, like having that there when they read like what's on the album is so
Yeah.
dope to see. So thank you for that. So I want to play a game called
Oh, I
Guess
remember last
What.
time. I remember last time I was on here and I thought you said hotels.
Oh
And
yes.
and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like, do I not know R&B?" But I was like, "Oh, it's Jasmine Sullivan, hotels." But yeah, I'm sorry. I just remembered that and I was like, "I hope I do better. I hope I
Well,
do better."
this one is it's a bit easier, a little
Okay.
bit. It's not a trivia, but it
Okay.
is one's gotta go.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So
Okay.
it's a little, we're choosing violence a little bit here with this one. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give you 4 questions. Each of them have 4 options, but one of them has to go. And when you get rid of that person, you get rid of their whole discography. Like it's all gone out the door.
Wow, okay, this is intense.
So the
Woo.
first one we're gonna do female R&B singers. One's gotta go. Is it going to be SZA, her, Janae Aiko, or Alex Isley?
Ooh.
That means their collaborations, songs that they've written, albums, gone. Which one do you choose?
I love all of them, and I think they're all incredibly talented, um, but I don't have a lot of Janae on, like, my playlists, so I'm gonna just say her just because I don't have a lot of her music saved, but she's incredible, and, like,
No, of
from the
course.
songs I've heard is so good, but, yeah, I don't listen to a lot of her right now. Hopefully, that changes in the future, though, but I'm, like, trying to
Okay.
cover my bases, I'm like I love them all. Respect,
It's
yes.
all hypothetical. They're not going anywhere because they're all amazing. Um, so we're gonna do R&B songs now. One of them has to go. They are no more. Would it be "Do It" by Chloe and Halle,
That got me through the
"Peaches"?
pandemic.
Right. "Peaches" by Justin Bieber, "On My Mama" Victoria Monet, or "I See You" Coco Jones?
I'm gonna have to say Peaches.
Peaches out the door.
Yeah, it's a good song, but, yeah, I gotta support Black women.
It's yeah, I mean, it's a good and catchy song. I feel he has better songs than that. I feel like that's just like
Yeah.
just a catchy
It was a
radio.
fun moment. It was
Yeah.
it's also a great song, yeah, but I really love the other ones.
No, I'm with you on that one. I would totally agree. That would be the same pick for me as well. All right, let's do R&B male singers.
Oof.
Who are we getting rid of? Is it going to be Mario, Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller, or Brent Faiyaz? Which one is going? Collaborations out the door, albums, singles, videos, tours, gone.
Oh my goodness. That's hard.
That's a very tough one. because they are all super talented.
They're all
And they're
so
all
good.
different too.
They're
You get
very
like a
different.
different thing from each of them.
I think I think it's gonna be like my first answer, in that I don't listen to a lot of Mario.
Okay.
So, I think only for that reason, I'm letting him go, but from what I've heard, from the songs I have of his, he's great. I just have a lot more of, like, of Chris Brown and Bryson and Brent on my playlists, and that would leave a big hole.
Hurts my heart.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
all right, the last one. We are almost through this. The last one. R&B collaboration edition. So you got to get rid of one of the collaborations. It will never exist. Is it going to be New Flame by Chris Brown and Usher? No Love by Summer Walker and SZA? Hit Different by SZA and Ty Dolla $ign? Or Better Things by Ciara and Summer Walker? Which one are you getting rid of? It will no longer exist.
Oh, that's hard.
It's a tough one. It is a tough one.
I'm gonna say New Flame.
New Flame out the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is hard, but yeah. It's hard, but
Okay.
I have to say that one, yeah.
Okay. New Flame is gone. Well, that is it. Thanks for playing One's Gotta Go. I know that is such a difficult game to play to
It
get
really
rid of.
is.
To really try and get rid of something. Like when I see those like on the timeline when they have like the pictures and you gotta get rid of one, I'm like, this is so difficult to do. So
Yeah.
hard.
Oof. Oof. I'm still thinking about some of them. I'm like, "Dang."
So another thing that I love about the project is the artwork that you have. So you have different pictures that you put up. Like there was one where you have the butterflies on the gloves that you have, and I also love the artwork for I'm Not From California when you're in the water.
Yeah.
Love it. And
Thank
with
you.
everything that you did. So how was that coming up with the visuals when it comes to pictures, when it comes to music videos? Like what was the process? What was going through your mind?
Yeah. So I gotta give a huge shout out to Ariella, who is my creative director. And she really helped me build the visual world of the project. Just because I feel like in the past, like I would just have like random ideas for everything, and then
Mhm.
nothing nothing was cohesive at all. And so working with her really helped to unify and solidify things in a way that presented me authentically. So yeah, I for the I'm not from California. I knew that I wanted to be in the middle of the water because that was gonna be a scene, that we were shooting for the music video, and so I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, that would be perfect for the cover." And shout out to Katali who directed the video, and was so down to go with all my crazy ideas, and he also brought some incredible ideas as well. Um, and then the butterfly idea, I have to give credit to Ariella, as well too, because she found gloves that, someone had put butterflies on Pinterest, and so my
Oh, wow.
stylist yeah, it was so pretty, and I was like, "This is so fitting for Antisocial Butterfly." And so my stylist, Aaliyah, put them together, and then we used them for the shoot. It was so hard though because, like, the butterflies wouldn't stay on, so I just have to,
Oh.
like, freeze, take the photo, like, not move so that, like, butterflies wouldn't be falling all over the place, but, yeah, I'm grateful for all the people that helped with the making those photos possible. Cause yeah, I love them so much too, so thank you for noticing that.
No, of course. So shout out to your team because yeah, it's something that I did take notice of, like with the intention of like the butterflies being on the gloves and then having like the name of the album. I thought it was so pretty, like you standing in the water with the white dress. I loved that cover.
Thank
Like
you.
I thought it was just so beautiful. So
Thank
kudos
you.
to all of you. But like how did you connect with your team? Like how did you find the right people to help you execute this project?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think from a lot of different things, in between making the first project and this project, I really went back into artist development. and took a lot of programs. SOCAN offers a lot. RBC also had one as well. Um, and through and also Lawson Vocal Studios as well has a bunch of incredible programs that I took over the years. But through those programs, they always bring on people and teach you about different things. And so for example, with like creative direction, I didn't even know that was a thing when I was making my first
Right.
project until I went through one of the programs and learned that was something that people, or an area that people worked on
Mhm.
to ensure creative unity amongst all of their assets. And so I was recommended by a mentor that Ariella would be a great fit, as you know, she's also like another young Black woman who's in Vancouver. And I love her so much. She's so talented. She's so sweet. And she just gets things. Like there's certain things I just don't have to explain to her. And I'm just like, "Ugh, I am like such a fan." And then, yeah, for the video, I was also recommended Katali by someone else who worked in film as well. Shout out to Darcy. Um, and he was like, yeah, he's a young filmmaker who's really cool, and I feel like you would get along with him. And we like clicked right away, and he was super sweet, and like his attention to detail is absolutely incredible. I loved that like he just brought so much focus and ideas to the project and just presented them in such a beautiful way. And so yeah, I met a lot of the people that I worked on this project with from a bunch of different avenues, but I think mostly during that artist development period of just like learning about the industry and learning about myself and learning about, you know, the types of people artists have, you know, helping them with their projects and then
Mhm.
trying to find those people. Yeah.
No, but that's amazing, and it just goes to show because we have so many programs here in Canada, and
Yeah.
so a lot of people don't utilize it. A lot of people may not even know they exist or may not feel like they need it or are maybe skeptical of what they provide, but they're able to give you that information. And even if the information you already know, you're meeting like a whole new group of people, right? You're expanding your network. They can put you on to new people, and it's just like a great way to grow. So I'm glad you were able to meet like people that you really connect with and like really get your vision, and they're able to help you execute that. So that's so amazing. I'm so happy
Thank
that you
you.
found like a good group of people because sometimes it can be hard too.
It's so hard, yeah, and I think also too, it just comes to knowing yourself and what you're
Mhm.
looking for and the the values, you know, that you have, that you want others who are working with you to also have as well, and then also just takes making a bunch of mistakes, like, I made so many mistakes in the period of, like, making the first project and this project, and I'm gonna make a whole bunch more with subsequent releases, but I feel like all of those experiences shaped me and helped me learn more about what I'm looking for and things that I like and things that I don't like and the kind of people that I want to be around and maybe the people that we distance ourselves a little bit from.
Yeah.
But yeah, a huge learning process that just never stops.
Yeah, but that's what it is. But for us as like the listener or the viewer, like we're gonna see that each experience gets better, right? Because
Yeah.
you are growing. So obviously we're not gonna know the mistakes that are happening behind the scenes unless you share it with us. But for
Yeah.
us, we're just seeing the growth from one project to the next, which is really cool. And so the fact that you are finding people to help you with that is even better for like fans to know like, ooh, she has a team, like she's getting stuff done and she's
Mm,
happy with the outcome. So that's really cool. But also mentioning too, from your first project to now, when you released your first project, you were really young,
yeah.
and it was done like in the pandemic. So like now that you're older and you're being more vulnerable, you're experiencing new things. Like, was it a little difficult for you to really put yourself out there like that to speak about things? Like I think about like Sideline, for
Yeah.
instance. It's like an experience that not a lot of people might go through, or a lot of people go through, but they don't talk about it because of how they may feel or how people may perceive. So did you ever have any like doubt or like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this? Or were you just like, no, this is me, this is my experiences or my friends' experiences, and I'm just gonna put that out there?
Yeah. I think, like, one of the biggest things that I kept thinking about was just, like, I really wanna build a community. Like, I wanna be able to just have or just be surrounded by people that are, that love the art that I'm making and build relationships with them and be able to have my own shows and have people come out. And a big thing for that, I was like, "Okay, in order for me to build this community is I need to build a strong relationship with these people, and to do that, I have to be honest. Like, there's no way I'm gonna build a genuine relationship with people if I'm not, being as honest as I could possibly be, and if I just write about things that are maybe not, super authentic to my experience or whatever the case may be." And so I think part of what helped was, like I was like, if I'm just as honest as possible and I put it all in the songs and I don't have to, like, hash out exactly what happened or who is
Yeah.
this about or whatever. And so that's kind of like the deal that I made with myself. But then also too, just like I want a community around my music. I really wanna build, and I think that that's only gonna happen if I'm honest with people. So it was definitely hard at first. I was like, "Ugh, I don't wanna say this." And I was like, This is too much." Like, "No, I don't wanna give all the tea." Um, but I think it's helpful to just write everything out and then decide afterwards of like, "Okay, this is a song that I wanna put out, yes," or, maybe not now, maybe not yet, or maybe never," kinda thing. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think it's so cool because mm, I think sometimes we think we're alone, but
Yeah.
there's, like, more people. So, for example, like, there was, like, this trend on I think it was, like, TikTok and it got to Instagram where they were putting, I can't remember, but they were, like, listing things that normally, like, you would be, like, maybe embarrassed about or not willing to, like, share, like, for example, like, I don't know how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
Never learned, but so many people be like, "Okay, like, at this age, like, you should know how to ride a bike," you know?
Mhm.
Or, one girl put, like, she's in her 30s and she's never had a boyfriend. So that's something that she would not readily admit because at this stage in the game, most people would already assume, like, you've already been in a relationship or a few relationships, you know? But
Mhm.
putting those things out there, you see that there is like a community of people that experience
Yeah.
the same thing that are your age or older. And so you feel more like, okay, I'm not the only one. Like you don't feel
Yeah.
behind and stuff like that, you know? So I think it's so cool that you're able to put your experiences in or people around you because there are so many people going through those things. And then those popular songs are not talking about that.
Yeah. That
So
was
you're
another
carrying,
thing.
yeah.
Um I like to think of the record as like a retelling of the classic coming of age story, but through the eyes of an antisocial butterfly, because I felt like a lot of the coming of age records and movies and books and albums are usually centered around falling in love or falling out of love. And they're
Mhm.
beautiful. They're beautiful projects. And I listen to them and I'm like, oh, this is so sad. I don't relate, but I'm like, whew, she went through it.
Exactly.
And so I was like, I don't know how many people openly talk about this on coming of age projects of just like, okay, but like I've never had this like experience before. Um, or talking about, have like feeling free for the first time and like actually like being on your own. And so yeah, I really wanted to center the experiences that I was going through, but then also to knowing that like there's other antisocial butterflies out there who are in the same boat, and who have, certain experiences or haven't gone through, certain things, and then, talking about the nuances within
Mhm.
those. So, um, yeah, I think that's cool that you brought that up, that it is a little different from like the typical coming of age,
Yeah.
project, I guess, in that there's just experiences that are just a little bit different.
Yeah, no, but I loved it, and even though we're saying it's different, it's probably so common, it's just
Yeah,
that's not what's put out there for us to consume, right?
yeah,
So I don't know, I just love that you took that angle and you gave us those stories and also did it in a form of a radio show because that's where, like, so many people listen to talk radio to relate to the different stories that are coming in, so
yeah,
again it's just well done, and I just loved how you put everything together and delivered it to us. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much again for that. Um, I do want to ask too, because you did perform for On the Road to the Junos. So I wanted to know, how was that experience, and are you also going to be attending the Junos, which is next month?
Yeah, that was so much fun. I was, like, so honored that they even asked me to be a part of it, um, and it felt really full circle because when I was 18, the Junos were here, sorry, in 2018, so when I was 16, the Junos were here, and they had this, like, Battle of the Bands competition that I took part in, and so through winning that, I got to perform at, like, a pre-event that they were doing, like, outside, and so, yeah, it just felt full circle that the next time that they're here, which is this year, that I got asked to perform at an event that they were doing. So yeah, super fun, very nerve-wracking though. I was so scared. But I had such a great such a great band with me, playing, and we did some skits on stage, which was really fun.
Oh,
And then Sade, who's an incredible, R&B artist from Vancouver, also performed. I got to open for her, which was an honor. But yeah, super, super exciting, very nerve-wracking, but, it was so sweet. The audience was really, really great, and I had so much fun performing the songs off the EP for the first time.
amazing. And are you going to the Junos this year?
I hope so. I would love to go. I feel like there's such a beautiful community and, like, buzz, whenever the Junos are here. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna head down there for sure.
Well, I can't wait to see all like the clips and stuff if I don't make it there, just to see like what's happening, because I know there's like a lot of like events happening surrounding the Junos too.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty amazing. And it would be amazing if they had it in Montreal again. That would be like really cool, because I think we only had it here once.
I see, I was looking at the list of cities
Mhm.
that have hosted, um, and it's typically in Toronto, like, they obviously, like, they do go out, and do it in other cities, which is, I think, really great, but yeah, I think Montreal would be such a sweet spot to have the Junos, and hopefully it comes back there soon.
I hope so. I hope.
The
I know
culture is
there's
so
like the
rich
whole
there.
it is. There's
Yeah,
so much talent, like, when it
yeah,
comes to, like, artistic talent, there's just so much here, but
mhm,
because of, like, the language barrier, sometimes the people kind of shy away from coming here to do, like,
yeah,
business and stuff like that, but it'd be really cool if we could have an event like that here, because we don't really receive events like that here that much. Like you
mhm,
said, a lot of times they go to Toronto, right?
yeah.
Sometimes Vancouver, and then all the other places, it's like they sprinkle in between sometimes. So, yeah.
Rotate. Yeah, no, but I agree. I think it would be great for them to come. What do you know how when the last what year they were in Montreal?
It was, like, a while
A minute
ago.
ago, yeah.
Yeah, I don't quote me on this, but I feel like it's, like, 20 actually, I don't know, I was gonna say, like, 2015, like, it was, like, a while ago that they
Yeah.
came, and I think it was, like, at the Bell Center, which is, like, our stadium, but yeah,
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 legendary venue.
yeah,
I feel like they're definitely, I feel like there's definitely a push to, like, really bring it across Canada, which is great. I think that's a good air, to have and just build excitement,
mhm,
because it is it is a platform that's celebrating Canadian music, so I
exactly,
I think that that's cool
exactly,
that
yeah.
they're, yeah, gonna be in cities across Canada.
I'll keep my fingers crossed. I don't know. But if not, I'm gonna have to figure it out and travel to wherever
Oh,
they're going to next, to be able to catch a show one year. But,
it'll be there for sure.
um, I want to know too, for this year, like, what do you have coming up? Because, you provided us with, a lot of singles, a lot of visuals. Do we have a lot of performances coming up? Like, what is happening? What are your plans that you can share with us?
Yeah, I'm writing a lot right now. I'm really excited. I feel very inspired right now, and very excited to create the next body of work. So that's where my focus has been so far, just writing a whole
Mhm.
bunch and recording really soon. But yeah, I definitely also will be performing too. There's a few things that I have lined up.
Okay.
But yeah, it's mostly been writing and recording.
I love it. Okay, so more music on the way, which of course we love, but right now we can just make sure that we listen to the Confessions of an Antisocial Butterfly. Visit her YouTube channel so that we could see the wonderful visuals that she given to us, and also follow her on social media. But before I tell you to give out your social media so that we can stay up to date, we are going to make a playlist before you go.
Yay,
So
okay.
I am going to shoot out some different moods, and you're going to give me the R&B song that you would pick for this.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is, name me an R&B song that you would play to put you in a good mood.
Ooh, there's 2, but it has to be 1, right?
No, no, give us two. I had someone that gave me three, four.
Oh,
It's your
okay.
playlist. It's your world.
Okay, I would say "Strength, Courage, and Wisdom" by India Arie,
Okay. Yeah.
and then "Put Your Records On" by Corinne Bailey Rae.
Oh, yeah. That's such a good, like,
Feel
yeah, I
good,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives me like a sunny day vibes and like warmth. And yeah, I like that.
All the good vibes.
Um, e exactly. What's a song you would listen to on a rainy day?
Ooh,
What comes to mind?
I'm gonna say "Don't" by Bryson Tiller.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that one is, like, definitely the moody R&B for a rainy day for sure.
See, and it's a good thing we didn't get rid of Bryson Tiller,
Yeah.
because then that
That's
wouldn't have
right.
been an
That wouldn't have been an option.
option.
No, I love Bryson Tiller.
It's so dope. What's a song you would play when in love?
One instantly came to mind. I'm trying to think of another one to, like, complement it so it, like, show that I listen to more. Um, okay. I best part, Daniel Caesar and Her. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say Brown Sugar, by D'Angelo, and then Feel Like Making Love by Roberta Flack.
Oh,
Rest in
wow.
peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she is amazing. Amazing, amazing song. I love it. What's a song you would play? So now the opposite. What's a song you would play when going through a breakup?
I'm trying to figure out if I would go the route of, like, the
The
angry or, like,
angry
"Oh,
or
I'm
sad?
so."
Or maybe 2 for each mood when you go through the different phases.
I'm gonna say "Sorry" by Beyoncé. There's too many. I think I just have to stick I maybe I'm just going the angry route.
Okay. No,
Maybe I'm
that's
just angry.
fine. That is fine. Because most people will choose, like, a sad song, so that's
Yeah.
good. We have we gotta mix it up a little bit. So, what's a song that you would play that you can't help but dance to?
I'm gonna say "Do It."
Okay.
That song picks me up. Yes.
No, it does, it does. I don't know if it's such a great song, but I think
Yeah.
because of the pandemic too, and
You're
it was just
thinking
something that we just had, like, with the videos and stuff, them on the tennis court, always doing,
yeah.
like, the award shows there. I think it was just such a moment, so that
It
song,
definitely
I
brings
love
back
it.
that.
Love it. What's a song that you think has the best lyrics? When you listen to it, you're like, "Oh, I wish I wrote that."
I wanna say "Good Days" by SZA.
Mhm.
I think she really hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, all of her songs are great, but I really love that one.
SZA is an amazing writer, like,
Yeah.
really amazing writer. Okay, and the last one, what is a song that reminds you of summer?
Put Your Records On. Yeah, I
That
think that
is
one is probably, like, the most summery song I have on the playlist.
I love it. So that is your playlist. So thank you so much for creating a playlist with me. And so, like I said, let us know where we can follow you online so that we can keep up with performances that are coming up, new music that you have coming out, and all the good things that are happening.
Yeah. So all of my socials is at Bukola Music, which is Bukola Music. And yeah, I would love to connect. Come say hi on the socials. And I will be there ready to connect back.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Bukola, for coming back on the podcast and talking about your new project. I really, really, really appreciate it. And
Thank you
again,
for
I can't
having
say
me.
enough. Of course, it's such a good project. I'm so happy for you. So, anything else that you have going on, anything I can do to help, just let me know. But I
Thanks.
really do appreciate this. So, everybody listening and watching, please go ahead and check out the Confessions of an Antisocial Butterfly. Follow Bukola online. And if you're listening or watching, follow the Total R&B podcast. I'm at total.rnb on Instagram and TikTok, as well as on YouTube. And I will be back with a brand new interview.